Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Schlage B520-698. This is a cam to install a Schlage cylinder into a Falcon mortise lock body. Very handy that they have this, Falcon and Schlage being sister companies. Having the ability to cross over with components is nice. They certainly do that in other areas as well. You can order Falcon locks with a Schlage seat keyway, but you might have an instance where you are needing a housing, a mortise housing to go into Falcon locks because the existing keying system would be, Primus XP or Everest or whatever it might be, or just Classic. So there are times when we don't sell these often, but a couple times a year, someone's in need of cams to go into a Falcon lock. That's for a Schlage housing. So this is a mortise cylinder interchangeable core cam. Okay, this is going to have a single screw in the back of it. It will tell you that it is a standard sort of cam cylinder because of that single hole. Other platforms of key systems by Schlage are going to have the screws in the back of the cam moved, and that's to accommodate what's happening inside of the cylinder when it comes to the high security or higher security, elevated security options, whether it be a check pin or side bit milling, things of that nature. So that single screw in the back is a pretty telltale sign that you're dealing with standard material in terms of a standard mortise cylinder housing, not something that is going to be taking a restricted or protected keyway. So this video is to really serve as visual evidence of the item itself. There is some information down below that we'll take a look at. I don't have a drawing on the B520-698, at least not at this moment, but let's emulate what they do. So they go from the center to the tip of the lobe on the cam, and I will estimate that as best as possible with my caliper. I would say that that dimension is right about 0.73 inch from the center line here to the end here, 0.73 inch. Then they do the width of the item at the top, or the body, 0.196. 0.196 is what that is. Let's switch now to the screen view and let's take a closer look at some supporting information. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Here's the item that we are indeed looking at. I have some photographs linked to down below. Let's take a closer look at those. Okay, giving you a better idea of what this, of course, looks like. So, Schlage interchangeable core cylinders, obviously mortise housings. Schlage full-size and small format core is now available for the Falcon MA series. Schlage will continue to support the installed Falcon M series, but now has the capability to be integrated with the new MA series. The image depicted below illustrates the cam and installation. This for sure has come off of the Schlage site, is where that came from. Cut sheet here. Okay, yeah, same information. So what they're saying is Falcon's predecessor to the MA mortise lock was the M series mortise lock. Parts changed, things evolved, and they're saying that they can not only handle the predecessor but the current mortise lock. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like installed. Now, here's a chart, and we have our Falcon series MA cam for interchangeable core. These part numbers are for cylinders, mortise housings, I should say, that you would use this with. This will work on everything except the MA381. That function is clearly one that's going to require a different type of cam, and let's explore that since I don't recall what that function is. Pull up the Falcon catalog from in our website. Wait for that to load. Okay. MA381. That has a funny cylinder. Funny cam. It's clearly handed. It could be a brink function. Could be a hotel function, perhaps. A brink function would be the cylinder can operate in only one direction, given what key is operating it, but yet a different function, if a different key is used, it can operate in both directions. What I should say is, in a Brink's function, one key can only lock or unlock the door, and the other key has that similar functionality, but in reverse. I feel like I've opened a can of worms by mentioning Brink. I don't want to leave it unexplained, so we're going to open up the Corbin-Russwin catalog, because that's where I know there is to be a definition of Brink. There is a cylinder manual that's here. Cylinder manual. Has nothing to do with Schlage, but I don't think we're going to be able to index it this way. Let's pause this video. In the Corbin manual, a Brink's function mortise cylinder is handed. It offers a change key which will turn only in one direction, while the master key does indeed turn in both directions, is how that works. This is in the Corbin-Russwin cylinder manual. You may never have known that existed. It does, and it is handy, because what happens here is you could hand a key to an employee, let's say, and they can only lock the door. They can't unlock it. So if that employee closes and leaves at the end of the day, they can lock it. But if they were to go at any other time, they could not unlock that lock, though the master key would allow it to lock and unlock. Fascinating cylinder type. Page 45 of the Corbin-Russwin cylinder manual. I don't know that Schlage offers a Brink or Brink's function from the factory, but you can certainly make one out of a Schlage cylinder. That's a conversation that we'll stop short of having at this time. So, the MA381 apartment exit lock. Latch bolt operated by... So this is what this cam will not work in. Latch bolt operated by knob lever from either side, except when outside is locked by key from inside. When outside trim is locked, latch bolt is retracted by key from outside or opening inside lever. Okay, so you can lock the outside trim via a key on the inside, is the bottom line. So you have to have special rights and privileges over that. And clearly how that works on the inside of this mortise lock requires clearly a different cam, as we saw right here. So to even complicate that a little bit more, there's a different cam for the inside versus the outside. So neat. And there, of course, is our standard, cam that we're basically duplicating here, except for the back of a Schlage mortise cylinder housing. Okay, we have taken a deep dive. There is a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Schlage products that we sell by means of this horizontal navigation as seen here, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog here, and several other encyclopedic documents as well, such as the service manual. I would recommend that if you're trying to work on a lock and need parts. Master template index. Cylinders and key blanks quick reference guide. That's a document that I refer to all the time. And the reason that I do is because I don't commit to memory part numbers for key blanks. Sure, I know the 35101, the 35100, but if we need to do an Everest blank, I'm just going to refer to this document. Also, it's handy if you are interested in the different classic keyways from Schlage. Here they are, all 7 of them. Little chart there. Then, the final encyclopedic documents I'd point out, speaking of keyways, the Primus service manual is here, and the Everest manual is here as well. There's probably also, yeah, there is. There's an SL, there's an SL service manual, which is a very unique departure from standard pin tumbler cylinders from Schlage. It is a combination of, and I'm not an expert, but I know enough to, perhaps say a couple of words. This Everest 29 SL, the SL cylinder, is like a take off of the Quickset Smart Key. It is a take on small format. But the Quickset Smart Key is where I really see correlation. It's also a take on Medico with a sidebar. So it's interesting. And you'll find, speaking of Medico, you'll find that if you were to study the evolution of cylinders, and you were to take an extremely long view, reviewing dozens of books, you will find how the cylinder has evolved since the pin tumbler cylinder was patented by Linus Yale Jr. in about 1851 or so, thereabout, 1860 perhaps, I forget. You're going to notice that things that were patented decades ago are used today in a unique way, or in what the patent office would consider a novel way. And an example of that would be a sidebar like this. An example would also be the DOM, D-O-M. A certain series of DOM cylinders had what is called a movable element in it. The year now is 2021, and the patent on Medico 3 just came up. And Medico has announced M4, and it includes a movable element. That DOM patent is, I don't know that they're the first people to have a movable element, but that concept is decades old. But using it in a novel way is what makes it valuable, is the bottom line. Let's wrap up this video on camera. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. In conclusion, here's that cam. If you're putting a standard mortise cylinder housing, not interchangeable core, not anything other than the classic keyways, or the keyways that are not Primus or Everest, where they have to have the screws on the back relocated. This would be it, obviously, for a Falcon MA series lock, forgive me. And the last thing I'd like to say, Schlage has technical support that is really amazingly helpful, constant, predictable, dependable, reliable, professional. To those folks, and to that one person in particular, I say thank you. These are sold as each. If you have any questions on the B520-698 cam or any other Schlage product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.